This is amazing. I was clash heads again. This is like Chaz Mostyn and Cam Water.
For the first time here for season 3. Davis on pole, Vandergren in second. It's going to be sprint round action here tonight. Let's go racing here at Daytona. It was a good start there from Davis in comparison to Vandergren in behind. Cowan's absolutely bogged it up and already dropped out of the top 3 here as they come down towards turn 1 for the first time. There's biffing and barging between Gallen and Cowan. These guys are still going at it after last season. They survived for this time by though. Through turn 2 and 3 they come. Nice and clean, boys. Keep it up as they come up to...
I love riding. It's a real social thing. There's a great bond between riders.
Every weekend I look forward to getting out there. It's a freedom like no other.
Riding to work is a great way to start the day.
Shannons insure all types of road bikes, not just classics. They offer features riders really want. It's why they're one of Australia's leading motorcycle insurance providers.
Whatever you ride,
Whatever you ride,
Whatever you ride.
ride with Shannons.
Call 134646 for a quote.
Through turn 1, it was a horrible start from De Bono. He's absolutely bogged it up and gets eaten alive by Dixon and Gowans as they come on through. Through turn 1 they come, and they all spread out around in towards the first sector of the Silverstone circuit. They look all right at the moment. Okay, there's already been a car spun round. That's Jordan Ferguson offline.
Is green, green, green at Road Atlanta here as well. Faulkner did get away. De Bono is tucked in as well. Unfortunately, Houghton is on that outside line. De Bono does want to turn it to 2. He's got the job. De Bono's overtaken. Now can he get Ben Faulkner up through turns 2 and 3? They go round the right-hander, dropping down the hill. Faulkner's out in front. De Bono second. Houghton third. Ratcliffe in fourth. No real dramas going into turn 1.
We've always had a few cars. They're all special. The T-Bird.
Oh, that's mine.
The Combi for when we want to get away. The XR8.
It's going to be a classic.
They're all insured with Shannons,
We've also got Shannon's home and contents cover.
which helps protect our automotive collectibles, tools and memorabilia in the home and garage. If you're motoring enthusiasts like us, it's got to be.
Shannon's.
Shannons, insurance for motoring enthusiasts. Call 134646 for a quote.
This is amazing. I was clash heads again. This is like Chaz Mostyn and Cam Waters. Almost the same situation. Better contact going down to the hill. Sam Noble wants to snip on Dave Coleman now. Sam Noble bottle right now because tell you what, Bruce Tanek and Jamie Dyke just absolutely drove away from us. Hayden trying to go around the outside. This is where he could have just sent it up the inside, but he hasn't implemented it, which is fair enough. It's very scary out there, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if we get a good line. Dodds just absolute thinker, but it is a really nice move. Blake Delaney had to move out of the way.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to SRW TV, and welcome into the Warren & Brown Tools V8 Supercars Championship for round 6 of season 1 of 2025 here out at a very foggy and grey Snetterton racing circuit, where we should be on for some absolutely spectacular racing from some of Australia's best behind the wheels of the Gen 3 Supercars. I'm your commentator Hamish Munro, joined as always by Steve Sinkovic. Sinker, we saw how well this place could turn it on a few weeks ago in the Tuesday series, and now we get to see how the Sunday boys are going to get a crack at it, and if they can match some of the almost heart-stopping moments that we got on that Tuesday, if they can do that here tonight as well across our sprint round.
I was just about to say, where are we at tonight? And then I saw the picture and I thought, yep, we're at that place. Yes, welcome viewers. It was a great night on the Tuesday night, and I'm sure that the pros tonight will put on a spectacular show as well. It's going to be cool, mate. It's going to be great. It looks like it's teasing us with a bit of rain off all the cloud around, but I don't think it's going to happen. You do?
If it happens, I don't think it'll be particularly heavy. I think it might just be a slight little drizzle here or there. I don't think it's going to come much into effect tonight, though. But
no, not at all. I think we've had enough rain in the real world for the real events tonight. The touch of rain here tonight would probably counteract our expectations.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think we can expect monsoon levels of rain out at Snetterton, but we could get a little drizzle, maybe in a couple of patchy spots across the night as well. We come into this round with James Scott leading the championship, of course, but right now in qualifying, James Scott is not in the session, so that means that it's a great opportunity for Blake Warboys and Rehan Leonage and co. to make up some crucial points over James leading into our next round in 2 weeks' time, as we have a bye round next Sunday. The week after for round 7 will be one that we'll have to be keeping a close eye on, especially towards, as we go further and further on towards the end of this season, Sinker, that the more times drivers miss rounds, the more likely they're actually getting taken out of the fight. But then you never quite know when they're taken out of it because of the fact of you don't know when someone's going to miss a round, since it goes across 2 seasons of SRW. So I think it's something that it's going to test us along the way. We're never really going to have a true concrete picture of it until we're at that final round for round 16. But
it'll be anyone's game, mate. You never know.
Game,
the exactly. Could still be in it. It's going to be very, very interesting. It's going to be consistency. It's going to be limiting the damage if you are away. But it's going to make it for excitement, especially near the pointy end of the season. Yeah, for sure. And as I said, I think the longer we go on, the better we're going to see who is in contention for this title race, as what normally happens. But as we sit in qualifying, Blake Warboys has just gone fastest, so 151.12 in his first attempt here in qualifying. We've got a couple of cameras out there from some drivers in the field here this evening. We're just awaiting the second screen to happen, as Sinker unfortunately had some updates to do. I need to change that as well, because that's the Thursday one, so it's got to be changed. Updates to do, and my wife's brought my drink thing in. She's bought me this massive thing that looks like a desk garbage bin with a handle on it and a straw in it. It's huge. I'm just hoping she's put some booze in it. So, of course, we've got Harry Dodds on the camera here tonight once again. If I can find him on track, there he is there for Project 36. I thought he was giving us a wave then through the the regression of his camera getting all blurry, but no, it was just him turning a corner that time. By his teammate Angus Lawford has also got his camera on for us tonight as well, Sinker. So double up of Project 36 drivers. Nice, and nice. Then the mystery man of last week is back once again, Jace Douglas. With his camera on display. No Blake Warboys at this stage. We'll see if his camera does get turned on at some point for us. Rhian will probably get turned on soon as Laz goes, oh, damn, I've forgotten to put his camera on. Yep. And he's listening to the show. Yep. Evening.
So we are 6 minutes into qualifying. Of course, being a sprint round here this evening, drivers do get cut off at the 15 minutes. They cannot finish a lap past 15 minutes, as they will get sent to the shadow realm by the iRacing gods. So if they want to get a lap in qualifying, they've got to get it in quickly, and they've got to try and get it in before the end of the 15 minutes. Now, as we mentioned, James Scotland here tonight. It's the first time this season since round 1, Sinker, that we don't have the gold number on the timing tower because the current championship leader into this round is not participating. So next round, in 2 weeks' time, hopefully whoever is leading out of Snetterton is able to race in 2 weeks' time. And hopefully we don't continue the trend of not having the gold number on the timing tower.
Ooh, this is true. Yeah. No, I think it should be fine. James has been in and out of it, in very competitive form most of this season. No doubt he's probably at the track recovering or something along those lines. And I can't find the V8 Sunday channel with the Ninja on it because I haven't opened the V8 channel. How's that?
Helps when you do things, Sinker.
Yeah, it does. It does.
It's processes.
The problem I have is that my Discord that I use for broadcasting, I don't really get in there, so it's full of messages that haven't been answered. And then by the time you filter your way through, which heads I should clean up and pull my finger out.
Well, I was going to say it's either that or just use your regular account, but you still need the broadcast account for Thursdays as well. So,
correct.
That then kind of limits those options. Coming into this round just quickly as well, new colours on the 501 of Shane Randall this weekend. They now get to run a nice all black, nice stealth car from Infinity Motorsport with black art design on the side of it. So nice little self-plug for me. I'm just going to take the opportunity while I can, Sinker, to self-plug my livery design business of Black Art Design.
Yeah,
so.
You can plug yourself as much as you want, mate.
Mate,
all good. Also, you can promote yourself as well.
Yeah. That's definitely going to get clipped by somebody. I can already tell. So, but we'll see how Shane does in tonight's race as well, through qualifying and towards both races here this evening. He had a very consistent run the last few weeks, definitely getting into some close battles, the likes of Mick Clifton of Accelerate Sim Racing and others as well around that pace. So I would expect the same from these drivers here tonight at Snetterton as well. Drivers that I'm actually looking forward to seeing how they go, namely the likes of Alex McManus and those other PSR drivers who've been out there week in and week out and had a relatively strong running last week at the Red Bull Ring as Blake Warboys has got a purple sector in the first. So, yeah, those guys who were kind of fresh to the series this season. So, McManus, Mitch Muller's been here previously. He raced in the CNF 500 on his own. Got disqualified at the end of that race because he didn't meet the fair share rule, but he did do every single lap that he could on his own in that 500 race. So, it was a hell of an effort.
Yeah, that was a major effort. Being that he knew what was going to happen, but he out there participated and went out for it and did a great job. Just a bit of admin work. This series is still open, so we are accepting drivers for this series still. So if you think you're good enough to get up there with Warboys around Billy Mole, Jake Andrews, Stowe Street, Scotty James, please, let us know, and we will feature you in, because the Sunday series, being that it's a longer series than usual, is a little bit different to what the boys are used to. So there is some spots available. So reach out.
Yeah, spots remain open pretty much for, I would say, at least half the season, surely, Sinker, until the start of season 2.
Because it's long and it's something new we're trying and something a bit different to avoid Scops and to avoid the Logitech series and give these fast guys somewhere else to race apart from those places where they can.
Will Buchanan.
A little bit of control lost there. Looks like there's a bit of a hyperlock halfway through the corner or something.
That almost looked like a wheel failure.
Yes, that was weird, wasn't it? It's just the whole car just went sideways into drift mode.
His wheels were turned when he actually was in pit lane. So if we watch this back at full speed, you watch this. So turns right. Oh no, he actually lost the rears. So he actually did try and catch it. So it wasn't even a wheel failure. He did have that rear end slide.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate there for Will
all
Buchanan.
the way through.
Yep. I'm assuming by looking at Laz's response of LOL, we can see around now as well in the cameras. Kurt the Buzz Bowl. Go Will Buchanan and Angus. Yeah, that's Kurt Nommensen who races on the Tuesday series.
Yes.
So, great to have you out there with us, Kurt. watching along. Car at 850 and 981 lap 5, turn 4, no further action in qualifying. So obviously some drivers have started to get into a little bit of a bingle with each other early on here in qualifying. Maybe taking a couple of too many not opportunities. I don't even know. My brain's gone today, as it normally is on a Sunday at this point.
Well, downstairs in the race control booth, we have our race steward tonight, Mr. Greg Barber, and supported by him is Matty Keane and Greg Leake in the safety car. So the team are out there as usual. We usually have at least 3 people in the race control room, and the boys are having a stellar job this week. We are coming up to the regular season finish, which means this season will still be going because it goes right through, and there'll be also the Australian Open Wheel Nationals. So that will be played out in 2 weeks after the season finishes. The draw will be in the final round, so that way the guys will have a week and a half to drive the actual track which we are releasing. But keep your eyes out on Facebook this week for some promo videos and stuff like that coming out.
Of course, the first 2 runnings of that race was, spectacular. It's the only way you can really describe it, Cinco. Of course, Silverstone was the first running, and then Mugello last time out. Means that neither of them are going to be on the docket because they've been run in the last 12 months for the AOWM. So it means we could see something new. I did put forward to Dougie that, because I know that the historic Silverstone circuit was supposed to be on the calendar for the SFLs this season, but it was taken out. And I said that would have been an absolute ripper. I reckon you should put it into the rotation for the AWN and just see if it pops up. Because the historic circuit, in my opinion, leaps and bounds better than the regular Grand Prix circuit for Silverstone. It is immense. It is fantastic. It creates phenomenal racing. So if that's on the wheel spin, we'll see if it gets landed on. If it's something else,
I don't know if the admins have picked the next track just yet that we're adding to the pull down on the rotating board. But I'm sure they'll let us know this week. They're going to be announcing it this week, so everyone will know. We had a general meeting with the boys from Gentleman Racing. And look, it's going to be good. It's going to be interesting. Keep an eye out for it. Should be a lot of fun. What's Mr. Keith?
Mr. Keane is correcting you, Sinker. Apparently, Greg Barber, race director, Matt Keane, race steward, Greg Leake, safety car driver.
Yeah, that's your evening rolls. Yes, correct. But Mr. Barber is the chief race steward, so that's what I was referring to. Anyway,
so we have about a minute left, so it means that this is actually probably the last opportunity for Angus Lawford. He has now crossed the line, so he actually won't have enough time to get another lap in here, Sinker, being that it is a sprint round.
Yeah.
Troy Stone Street is close enough to the end, but I don't know if he's actually lighting the world on fire at this stage. Same thing for Brandon 11. Jace Douglas's qualifying is done and dusted. He's going to have to come into pit lane. He's nowhere near going to be able to get a time in. Brandon Levin just slid it through the final corner. He's trying to find anything he can in the final sector, and he's had to pull it out and pull it into pit lane this time by. Mick Clifton could possibly get a lap in. We know that Lawford can't make it back, but he has got a green sector in the first, so maybe just trying to make himself feel better at this stage, trying to find a little bit more pace towards the end of qualifying, maybe, possibly, who knows. But for Mick Clifton, he will have the opportunity to get... Oh, actually, no, is he even at the start-finish line? No, he's not. So I don't even think... No, he's not even close enough. He's not going to get a time in. So that'll be it for Mick Clifton. Shane Randall is going to miss out as well. Same with Steve Vella at this stage. So qualifying is done. They find the Shadow Realm. And race 1 is just around the corner for 20 minutes of racing in the heat. And then we have a 40-minute feature coming your way out here at Snetterton, ladies and gentlemen. We'll get our starting grid up and... ready for you with Blake Warboys in pole position with a 151.120. He'll start on the front row of the grid alongside Rehan Leonage of Phoenix Racing Team in P2. If you look at the first 2 rows, it's quite interesting how this works out. It's WKMP Sim Sports Phoenix Racing Team. Then P3, it's Billy Moll from WKMP Sim Sports, and then Jack Andrews of Phoenix Racing Team. And then P5, Troy Stone Street will line up in a line of stern with his 2 teammates ahead of him. He'll start just alongside Angus Lawford of Project 36. Brandon Levin will start P7 for Team SLW Motorsports. With David Coleman returning to the field this week for Fishy Motorsports as well, he'll start at a P8 ahead of Alex McManus And John Gallen inside of your top 10. Will Buchanan and Stacey Boyd will make up the top 12. With Tim Mulford, Mick Clifton, Jace Douglas, top 15. Harry Dodds, Peter Pavlovic, Shane Randall, Steve Vella, Will Brown at the back end of the field. As we said, our race controllers, headed up by Chief Race Steward Greg Barber, and Matt Keane and Greg Leake out there will be manning the safety car as well.
Correct. Jace Douglas's comment in there is quite funny. Jace, you're quite welcome to play for your stick anytime, mate. And some of the boys prefer paddles.
They do indeed. Sometimes it's a personal preference. You know, some people prefer the paddle shift. Some people prefer the column shift of like a jinx shifter, for example. But
and look, some people don't have the budget for it as well. So
exactly.
Look, yeah, you put it on the. You get set with the rig.
Jinx. I don't actually think they're making jinx shifters anymore. You have to buy one that's already been made and it's getting sold second hand.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
I've got my second camera on Mr. Gallen, Mr. Jonathan Gallen, getting ready for this run. We have got 30 seconds. Early predictions, mate.
Oh, ball boys.
Ball boys.
Yeah. It's hard to go past him.
I'm going for Billy Mole.
Fair enough. I don't disagree. But lights are up, and we're underway at Snetterton for race number 1 this evening. As they scramble early down towards turn 1, Warboys will hope to hold the inside line on Leonage as they enter turn 1 for the first time. There's a little bit of netcode biffing and barging between them, but Warboys keeps the lead of this race. Mole and Stone Street line up in behind each other. They've already made it past Jack Andrews as well in this race, as Buchanan's had a mega start further back. He's already up 4 positions now into P7 on the road as Coleman is off. Doesn't hit the wall.
That's what happens when you don't come chat to us in the booth, mate.
That's right. That's right. Blake Warboys, though.
And Levin's off as well. So I'm not sure if that
Dodsy's just gone off too. Dodsy's was struggling, but he's back going again. But Warboys leads to Leonage and Billy Mole as Shane Randall's just had a moment further back. Yep. Down in towards the hairpin. We'll get some replays happening of lap 1 later on.
Yep. Stone Street's just had a black and white warning flag for moving as a defensive line under brakes, I think it was.
One thing we also need to talk about, Sinker, actually, because it's just clued into my mind, is the new iRacing season has been released, which means the new ping flag has been released. And if you recall, last week at Red Bull Ring, Troy Stone Street was struggling with there was an incomprehensible amounts of blinking on track. I mean, he was gone 1 second and then reappeared another, and it caused an accident. Not his fault, just, you know, the ping was hurting him. Now in that scenario, as soon as you blink, like multiple times like that, you are sent straight back to pit lane by iRacing. So he would disappear and reappear back in pit lane, and then he'd have to go fix the internet, and then he can go back out on track, or he can continue ghost driving. So it's going to save us now, race control actually having to watch out for blinking cars. And it should hopefully save us some avoidable incidents that we've seen before due to those ping issues that some drivers may have had occurring for them.
Well, it's about time iRacing started catching up with the real world, being that it's a virtual world racing. Oh, look at this racing. Rian's putting that pressure on like crazy. That was like 1/10 through that whole apex. That was crazy close. That was
Jace Douglas.
Rotation. Jason Douglas has had a bit of a 360 there. Looks like some of his bonnet's gone. He's had a nose job. Bit of a rhinoplasty.
So this was lap 1 at turn 2 between Alex McManus and David Coleman. So Coleman just getting a little bit overhung with Alex, and then off the road went David.
Yep.
So a little bit of an avoidable one. And Harry Dodds had a slide off track as well, so he came past Alex. And how's he ended up? Oh, he ran it way wide.
Oh, yeah, he came in very fast. He came in hot.
He came in very, very hot. And then
hot.
Peter Pavlovic has had this moment down at the hairpin. He had Shane Randall in behind. Oh, Randall locked it up massively. So that would explain why Randall had the crash. Drive-through penalty to Shane Randall for that moment. So
yeah, he's going to drive through for that. Yep.
Yeah, completely understandable as well. Locked it up and just overcooked the corner. Not much more you can say about it, really. John Gallant has had this moment too. This was the moment with Jace Douglas, and it was the same spot. Same spot, almost mirror image of Coleman and
Coleman,
McManus.
yeah, except it was a little bit earlier because Coleman had a bit more run-off space, whereas Jace, not quite as lucky. So Coleman's come through clean as a whistle.
So this was Coleman down towards pit lane. Oh no, he just pulled it up actually, so that's why. I thought he was going to actually have an incident, but he didn't. He kept it going. So for Jace Douglas, he's still pushing on without the front end on that car. Blake Warboy sets a new fast lap of the race, 152.2 that last time by. Leonage is right there with him on a 52.4. Billy Mole on the podium, who has been an outstanding driver this season, is Billy Mole. I think once again, the breakout star of this season, Sinko. I think looking back at last week's race at Red Bull Ring, Billy Mole turned himself into a household
name, mate.
Wrong time for a cough. A household name at the Red Bull Ring, and I think this kid's going to go far with this new team at WKMP Sim Sports. It may not be too long till we see him as a race winner here on Sunday nights.
He's come close a few times, hasn't he?
He
really has. He's already proven himself capable of doing it. He's at that point where he's got the pace and he just needs to get used to that pace and the guys around him. And I think it's not too long, mate. We won't be far away at all.
I have a feeling, I think Billy, and I think Troy is a little bit the same. When you think of a 100% driver, you think of Warboys or Leonage or Scott. And I have this feeling that Mole, Stone Street, and say with Lawford and Andrews, they're in the 99th percentile. They're that kind of, they're that 1% away. They just, I don't know, there's something that they need to either find to get up to either speed or get consistency or whatever it might be. And if they can find that 1%, they're going to be up there every week battling within the front two cars in the field. And I think that's the differential you can make between these drivers. Billy Mole, Stone Street, Lawford, Andrews, phenomenal drivers, absolutely phenomenal. But when you look at the ability of Warboys, Leonage, and then you look back at the 500 with Rattray White and Josh Houghton and James Scott and others, they're at another level. And it's like, what do they have to do to get to that level? And I feel like it's that little 1% that these drivers need to find, and they will be there.
Well, the thing is, you need to race with them. You need to race with those guys. You need to get up and around them. And Sunday nights at SRW is the place to do it. We've got car 099 drove for penalty, contact lap 2, turn 2. That was
Jace Douglas. So that's because of they've obviously determined that he pulled across out towards John Gallant, and that has obviously affected John Gallant's race by making him lose time and actually ending up off track. So that would explain why Jace has now found himself having to traverse through the lane. As Angus Lawford has just had a blink, so we'll have to keep an eye on Lawford's internet. And if this could be our first indication of the ping flag here, Sinker. So we'll see how this works out. We're not really 100% sure.
Well, our system is supposed to be showing it as well, but it's not on our timing tower. You should be able to see it in the gaming live timing, but not at this point. Car 640 and 300 at the moment. In no further action.
Yeah,
that was with
McManus and Coleman. So I think the differences between the two, because they're pretty much mirror images of each other. The reason that Douglas, as I mentioned, has been given the penalty, but Coleman hasn't, is Douglas, it affected Gallen's race more than the incident with Coleman and McManus did, because Gallen ended up off track, he ended up losing time, losing spots.
Yeah.
Well, McManus, it was at the start of the race. He kept going. He may have lost 1 or 2 positions, but he didn't lose out that much. So that's why that's the grey area.
The battle down in the lower screen at the moment is going off. We've got McManus, Mulford, Stacey Boyd having a great little battle here, and the boys are so tight behind each other. They're putting a great show. They've got like a little bit of overlap here and there, and they're having a bit of a tease, but not quite. Car 004, black and white warning, moving under brakes. 044.
That's Troy
Mr. Stone Street.
That
was the one we heard earlier.
Yeah. Laz saying as
Yeah.
well, Billy is a quick learner. He did a session with PDD, so are we surprised by the quick rise of Billy Mole? I don't think so, because I think he just has the the prowess to jump up the order rapidly. He's proved that already. He proved that it is his time.
These boys you mentioned, Milestone Street, Andrews, Lawford, they could be the next couple of pros that come out of here and become what we call aliens. I like to call them just pros because it's aliens sort of assumes that they are just naturally really good, but these boys all work really hard at what they do.
Yeah,
really hard.
I don't think Ray Douglas understands the point of actually allowing a car alongside you to remain in the track limits, based on holding a line.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think Ray copied and pasted that out of a previous statement somewhere. I've heard him say that before. Look, it's all about overlap and who's turning and who's not turning, and not necessarily about a straight line. And you can't really see the racing line through some of the angles that we show here. But I'm sure the boys downstairs had a very clear view at it. The battle at the front is still going very, very fast. Ryan has just set the fastest lap of the 152.157, which was previously Blake Warboys. So he's dipping the nose in there and showing him he's there, putting the pressure on. Don't forget, this is a reverse top 10, so we will see the boys around Stacey Boyd, Mulford, John Gallen fighting for that pole position as this race goes on, and we are halfway through Heat 1 as we speak.
Yeah, we're halfway through, so only 10 minutes to go. These front two have already built out a nice 3.9 second lead over Billy Mole and co. in behind them. So what's going to be interesting for the 40-minute race is watching both of them fight their way through that top 10. If they were to finish where they are and then have to start P9 and P10 in race 2, just watching them attack their way through the field. And we know that Rehan, he said it to us before, he has a preference for defending position more so than attacking it. He feels more comfortable sitting in the front pack. He feels he would feel better in this moment sitting in front of Blake because, I don't know, I have to agree with him as well. I feel like it is easier to try and defend position than it is to attack position. And I don't know, it feels a bit more secure. You don't feel as stressed if you're trying to defend more so than when you're trying to attack and make an overtake happen.
I prefer to attack. I enjoy being the attacking car when I'm able to, which is very rare. But I do also enjoy defending too. I've had some. I had a really spectacular race a few seasons back when I was doing V8 still with Steve Kennedy at Sebring, and it was awesome. It was fantastic. I just defended my pants off me for ages, and I had a lot of fun doing it too.
It's a real fun time, I should say, on both sides of the coin, as Rehan continues to apply this pressure now to Blake Warboys. Angus Lawford further back is in the world of his own at this stage, 1.8 seconds behind, 1.5 seconds ahead. So he's not really in and around anyone at this stage. Same can be said for his teammate, Harry Dodds, at this moment as well, who is fully focused to try and get past the car of Mick Clifton up ahead of him. Jace Douglas, who we mentioned before, has now been through pit lane to serve his drive-through. Unfortunately, he's still without that front end, but I suppose if it's not giving up too much time down the straight, Sinker, it's not quite worth coming in to fix that car right now. I think it'd be more worth it in the 40-minute race if that would happen. Correct.
And he wants to get as close as he can to that top 10 now, so he can get himself in the reverse grid, which would be perfect for him for the feature itself. Coleman is down the back of the field at the moment. Times are pretty good. His comparable times are up into around 10, 11, 12 positions, so he just needs to recoup from that previous incident, and I'm sure he will. Will Brown looks like he had an issue. He couldn't get back into the session. Maybe he's had the pink flag, I'm not sure.
I don't think he actually started the race, so he obviously just wasn't quite able to get back to the rig in time. John Gallen's got 3.8 seconds ahead of him to that battle on the bottom screen between Stacey Boyd and Tim Mulford. That's the battle for provisional pole in race 2. So I have a feeling, Sinker, that there's only 2 points difference between positions in the sprint race, in the heat variant of the sprint race.
Yeah.
I feel like it's almost worth it just to actually hang back and finish behind P9 if you're if you're in this position. So if you're Tim Mulford's position, hang back, give up the 2 points, but start P1.
Yeah,
where you're already 3 points ahead of the car who started in front of you, you know?
A perfect example is the 86 series where Callum Hodgkinson is competing with Pricey, and they haven't been far apart in the first race. But what Callum's been able to do is get himself into that 9th or 10th place, and then Pricey would be in that 11th or 12th place. So in the feature, here goes Callum, already up 10 places because he gets at the pointy end of the race and takes a good advantage where Pricey has to hunt him down. So he's been very fortunate. He's done that about 3 or 4 times this season.
I have to wonder, how would Pricey's development further if he did a PDD or a couple of PDD sessions, Sinko? If he,
mate,
how much further could he go?
Look, Pricey's a very good driver. He just needs consistency, a little bit of patience, and I think a bit of guidance from PDD would give him a world of good. Understanding how to adjust his car to adapt to what he's feeling, because he has no idea how to do the setups, and he's admitted that himself. So it's not that a lot of us do. We just pretend to know and just adjust a car to feel comfortable, not to be an attacking car. So I think he would benefit hugely from PDD.
What's this? Oh, let's make an adjustment to this. Oh, yeah, that feels slightly different. I'll try that for a bit. You know, just one of those.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Just have a bit of a test. Peter Pavlovic, unfortunately, has had a moment further back in the field. He had Jace Douglas in behind him. This was down in towards... Oh, that's going to be contestive for race control to unpack. We'll leave that one up to the boys in the dungeon.
Yeah. To see the way his car reacted afterwards,
though. I think
that was weird, wasn't it?
It looked like he tried to plant it to fix the slide, and it just went the wrong way.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. So we've got just under 5 minutes left to go. Nearly 4 minutes left in this race, in fact, as Blake Warboy still leads the way to Rehan Leonage. Billy Mole is still ahead of his teammate Troy Stone Street, and Jack Andrews back in P5 on the road as well, as they continue to fight their way forward in this race. But for Warboys and Leonage, I mean, not that Leonage wouldn't want to try and take the win. I think he'd also have the thought process of it's only 2 points. And again, if I finish where I am, I'm technically starting 3 points ahead of Blake in the next race. And that's already a 1 point advantage that then he would have in race 2. So again, it's that balancing act of deciding where do I, how hard do I want to battle for this? Realistically, race 2 is worth more points. Each position is worth more points in terms of the differential. Giving up 2 points now may not make as much difference as if he were to give up the 3 points in race 2.
But it's also really good for your confidence to know you've beat your competitor.
That's right.
And these guys are racers out there, and they're not thinking like that at the moment. They're thinking at the moment like, all right, I'm going to sit here and wait for the opportunity. If I can get it, I'll get it.
That's not necessarily have a send and then ruin our opportunity in race 2.
Yeah.
But if the door opens, I'm going to come knocking.
They've really blown away. They've really blown away tonight.
It's 5.7 seconds.
To the track like crazy. These two. 5.8, 5.7 seconds, and then you got Stone Street and Andrews chasing down Billy Mole for that other, and Jack Andrews chasing down that last position.
I almost wish we had, because obviously we have the headlight flash button, Sinko. I wish we had a headlight toggle switch, so then when it is this dark and grey, we can at least have the headlights turned on. Because I feel like that it adds to the ambience of the grey skies. Is when those lights are turned on. They turn on when it rains, but they don't turn on when it's been foggy or when it's a bit dark. So I feel like it'd be cool if we could just have some headlights rolling around.
Steph's going. Let's go. Mickey Clifton and Gallen, both doing really well. They're sitting in 11th and 12th at the moment in cruise control. So Gallen is a little bit out of 2.5 seconds away from Mulford. Mulford's in that 10th position. He's got itself pretty much locked in with 2 minutes to go.
Well, Kurt's saying headlight toggle would be sick. I think it'd also be good as well. Obviously, we run open qualifying, Sinko. And in real life, when you're on a lap, you have your headlights turned on, and when you're on a cool down lap, you have them turned off. So that would actually help us determine who's on the who's on a push lap and who's not in qualifying, and it might also then mean that it would also then be like, oh, I'm going to get out of this person's way because their headlights are on. They're on a push lap. I don't want to get in their way. You know, so it's one of those things. I think it would just add to it just a little bit. You know, but
Yep.
with Warboys and Leonage heading up towards the start-finish line, it'll be one more lap to go in this race. White flag for these drivers as we hit the 19-minute mark of this 20-minute sprint here on the Sunday Night Supercars Series, brought to you by Warren & Brown Tools. As Race Control just confirmed for us as well, it is the final lap. Thank you so much, Race Control. And for Warboys and Leonage, it's been almost feels like a regular night at the office for them, Sinker. Just rolling around together, having a nice cruise at the front of the field, and just getting some solid points whilst championship leader James Scott is away.
Yes, this is true. So these two would be understand that as well, and they know that every point is critical tonight. So
I think at this stage, if the math's correct, and I'm correct in assuming that James has missed a round already, Blake would take the lead of the championship after this race. I believe. I could be wrong, and I'm happy to be proven wrong. Could be talking absolute garbage, but
we do still have the link. The tower's not updated, but the link is there. The link would update.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm gonna find that link and I'm gonna click that link so I can make an actual determination on that.
Correct. So the drivers all have access to the link, and they know exactly where they are. Oh, they are. Oh, he's right on the back of him. There's an amazing bit of pace through there. He's taken him really closely. Oh, he's got some pace through that back.
They're able just to push so hard.
Oh, yeah, he was right on the back of him then.
And as they come round the final corner, I've just seen that someone's had a crash in the background as well. We'll get that up in a moment. But Blake Warboys, Rehan Leonage will cross the line, P1 and P2, as Warboys takes maximum points here in race number 1 in a phenomenal effort once again. Rehan Leonage will come home P2. Millie Mole will come home in P3. Troy Stone Street, Jack Andrews across the line in P3, 4 and 5. I just want to quickly see what happened here with Shane Randall at the end of the race. Make sure it wasn't a big absolute blow up. Ooh, it was a big loss. Yeah, big tail flick. Okay.
And I'm pretty sure I heard you call Millie Mole then.
I don't know. Tongue-tied and twisted as usual, Sinker.
Millie Mole Brown.
Cars 216 and 099. No further action from earlier in the race as well. Will Buchanan's come home in P7. Tim Mulford has come home P10, so he will have the provisional pole. Stacey Boyd will have a front row start as well, as Alex McManus was also inside of the top 10. John Gallen, Mick Clifton just missing out on that provisional pole position. Steve Vella a bit further back in the field too. Jace Douglas, he'll be hoping to have a stronger run in race 2. Peter Pavlovic as well, same with Shane Randall and David Coleman at the back end of the field. I might need your help trying to find this link.
Say again?
I might need your help trying to find this link. I could not find it in my little scramble then.
I'll have a look. Maybe when Greg Barber stops talking, who's having a bit of a chinwag with the boys now, he stopped now. Maybe he'll listen to and hear you and forward you the link for the ladder. Nice. Or Matty Keane might have it as well. But there is a link there, which is a live update for the boys, which is the critical one to follow. But reverse top 10 looking really special.
It is
looking really special.
It is indeed. So 5-minute warm-up session to come your way as we wait for race number 2. First round of the Formula 1 Championship has been done and dusted, Sinker.
Yeah, I know. It's really hard watching it without Ricardo out there. But supporting the Aussies out there. Jack Doohan wasn't doing too well. He was doing okay until it wasn't, unfortunately for him. Little Hajar had the spin, needed a hug from Mr. Hamilton at the end of that. And there was cars going left, right and centre, and then poor old Oscar had a bit of code brown when Norris went off the track and followed him, and unfortunately he was worse for wear for it too.
Just a Just unfortunate for good old Oscar Piastri. He should have eaten his grilled burger before the race. That might have made him do better.
Yeah, maybe. Well, he was on fire. He actually had the pace on Lando at one point, and he had team orders to maintain position due to the danger of the position they were on track with a lot of back markers coming through and stuff like that. And then they were told to race. By the time they were told to race, he had like 2.5 seconds on him. But he was doing really well for that little incident. Really cost him. He got bogged, and he got it out to his credit, but it cost him pretty much a whole lap, which is unfortunate. He was on target to be the first Aussie on podium without having the podium taken off him for a long, long while.
Yes.
And I'm sure a lot of our viewers and a lot of our drivers are still out there too.
I'm sure they are.
I know that Mr. Tony Baker was out there today. He showed a cool pic of where he was sitting in the stands, which is just after the checkered flag. So I think it wasn't in the centre cross stand; it was the one after it. So looked like he was in a great position for a bit of fun. In the V8 race, what was that? How disappointing was that?
Well, the fact that it didn't even happen.
Yeah.
Because of the rain. See, that's where you got to blame the weather gods, Sinker. That's where you got to blame the clouds in the sky.
Well, don't they hand out testicles to the V8 drivers?
Yes, but
why wouldn't they drive in the rain?
If it's too wet, well, you got to remember it's a time certain event. So because everything is so closely structured across the weekend, they can't. If they had race Sinker and they had safety car after safety car, it might have ended up only being a 5-lap race because of how long it would take them to get it going again. Then you've also got to think of the fact of if it was red flagged, then there was no point racing at all. So I don't see the issue with it, but that's the difficulty with racing supercars on an F1 weekend, is that it is so heavily
this is true. You're driving to constraints, and that's true. But you know what? They shouldn't have held them. They should have just go for it. Go for it. Happens, it happens. And then if you've got to cut the race short, they've got the ability to cut the race short. Simple as that.
I think instead of bringing F3 to Australia, because I think it's actually the first year F3's been here, they should have done 2 races on the Saturday for the supercars. So then Sunday it didn't matter. That means that they wouldn't have had a race on today. They could have gotten their 4 races done before the Sunday. Mark, chat with us as well.
They're trying to I guess they're trying to lift the profile of the Formula 2 and Formula 3 series, and also we had a young Aussie in the Formula 3 as well.
Yeah, I can appreciate them bringing it. Because I also believe F2, F3 is also going to China next week as well, so that's why they've also allowed them to come to Australia. Mark out in the chat there, evening guys and girls, looking forward to getting back in the sim this week. Of course, Mark's just come back from a nice family holiday in the US where he now misses and dreams about going back to Las Vegas once again. So, not Mark out. Oh my God, my brain. I'm so sorry, Mark. I'm thinking of my other friend, Mark Howard, and I'm getting old. I do apologize, Mark. But great to have you in the chat with us. Hopefully we can see you out there with Mickey Clifton, his teammate, running around together once again. But I do apologize, Mark. That's my mistake. I feel old, Sinker, at this point.
You are. You're getting there, mate. You're bloody ancient.
My brain and we mentioned it. We mention it every Sunday. I'm ready for a holiday. I'm ready for a holiday.
Very true. All right, boys are starting to grid up. Reverse top 10. Ooh, looking pretty spicy. Looking very spicy.
That was another reason that Steph just pointed out as well. They stopped it because they didn't want the cars damaged, as they were being put in shipping containers to go to New Zealand in 2 days. They're shipping in 2 days, so that's why. But starting grid, though, for race 2, Tim Mulford starts pole position ahead of Stacey Boyd in the front row of the grid. Alex McManus, Will Buchanan on the second with Angus Lawford, and Jack Andrews on the third row. Troy Stone Street, Billy Mole for your top 8 with Rehan Leonage and Blake Warboys. For the reverse top 10, everyone else will finish how they started in race 1 as a continuous grid. So John Gallen will start P11. Head to Mick Clifton in P12. Harry Dodds, Steve Vella, Brandon Levin, Jace Douglas. For top 16, Peter Pavlik, Shane Randall, David Coleman We'll make up the back end of the field. We'll see if Will Brown's back in the session to get racing in race 2. Otherwise, it'll just be the race controls at the back end of the field.
Yes, this is very true. All right, I will chuck my second camera on Blake Warboys. Big Daddy Warboys.
Big Daddy Warboys.
Yeah, Daddy Warboys.
Let's see. He still hasn't put his camera up. I'm very disappointed.
Oh, maybe he's just looking like a mess, mate.
Who knows? I've just noticed as well, Rehan Leonard just had a haircut. He's got a fresh trim coming into this race.
Fresh trim.
Yep. Angus Lawford looks like he needs a shave like me. Dodsey, well, you can't tell if he needs a haircut because the light's not on. And then Jace is looking focused and ready to move forward for race 2.
When you say the lights aren't on, like he's there but you don't know if he's home?
No, I mean the actual lights in the room are not on.
Oh, okay.
'Cause it's
30
dark.
seconds. 30 seconds.
30 seconds later we go racing. Tim Mulford will start pole position ahead of Stacey Boyd, as we mentioned. Alex McManus, can he fight his way to stay on the podium? Can Buchanan do something in this race as well for Evolution E-Racing? As lights are up and we get ready to go at Snetterton for race number 2. 5 lights and we are go here. McManus has absolutely bogged it off the start line. But Mulford and Boyd have rocketed away, as did Buchanan, Andrews and Lawford, as they've all now swamped McManus in towards turn 1. He's already dropped back to P7 on the road, so not the start to life in race 2 for McManus that he would have wanted, as Billy Mole and John Gallen continue to fight. Warboy's already dropping back in position 2 as Andrews and Boyd go side by side. Boyd has to concede and drop back in behind Jack Andrews once again. But for Mulford, he's had a great start to this race. That was Harry Dodds and that's Billy Mole and John Gallen.
No, it actually... It was actually
it's Warboys
and Billy that contacted first, and they rotated around into Gallen. We'll have to unpack that one a bit later, but it looks like the two teammates did each other.
Inter-team contact is the only way that can be described, and one where it'll be heads hanging in their hands and wondering how in the hell that happened. But for Mulford, he's had a fantastic start in this race, still leads the way. Buchanan's hot on his heels in the RER car. Andrews is there to try and be rear gunner for his teammate Mulford. Boyd wants a shot at a podium. Lawford's up there, wants a shot at a podium as well, as the top 5 has started to break away, with Stone Street in tow behind them as well to make it a top 6 battle here at the front end of the field. Steve Vella in behind has got McManus and Leonage and Douglas hot on his heels too. So the battles will look to continue on, Sinker, but it's a long race. 40 minutes of racing with a pit stop thrown in there for good measure. It's going to be a tough night.
100%. Car 961 drive through.
981. That's Harry Dodds. Contact lap 1, turn 3.
Yeah. Awesome start for Coleman. I was watching him peel off at the back, just passing cars at the beginning. Great ride. He's 6 up, but Velo is up 7. Jace Douglas up 6. Coleman's just past Brendan 11. And they're having a great little fight down the back there.
Oh, so this is actually how it started. So Dodsey actually served. He's been like a bowling ball into 3 pins then. He's just served Warboys and John Gallen.
That's why from our angle it looked like Warboys.
Exactly.
And Mole got contact. They were pushed together for a kiss.
Yeah, he forced the incident between them. So if we watch this back, so there's the contact.
Oh, he's hit.
Yeah, he's hit Warboys.
Warboys hit them, and and that's gone on to Gallen too. He's taken 3 cars out with 1 bump.
Exactly. He's had a 3-for-1 special. 3 birds, 1 stone, being the Chevrolet Camaro in this event. So that's unfortunate there for him.
Yeah, it's a tight. There was a lot of cars around there. There was 2 wide, 3 wide coming through there just about. So unfortunate, and these things happen, and you just got to fight your way through it.
So Mulford leads the way. Buchanan hot on his heels, still here at the front of the field. Andrews is up there too. There's a long way to go though. So the likes of Blake Warboys and Billy Mole may be able to fight their way just yet in this race, but Andrews is trying to get this job down. Round the outside of Buchanan, job done for him. And towards the
Mole's on his way on his own. War Boys is. They were together when they started that piece of
Mole's been
recovery.
on track again, so that's why.
Yeah. So I think Mole's might be just suffering a bit more damage than what Blake had. Blake's probably
Blake's blown his engine.
Oh no! Oh no! We are 4 minutes in, and his engine is spluttering.
So he made his way past Shane Randall. So I want to watch this because I want to see where he's actually done it.
Question is, after this pit, will he be able to go all the way through till the end and maybe make this a bit of an advantage?
Not without a safety car, he can't.
No.
That's the big problem. He's probably about 5 minutes away.
So you reckon 35 won't cut it?
No, I don't think so. That's a mega fuel save to try and get that done. Absolutely mega fuel save.
It might be the only way to do it.
Was it into the braking zone at the bridge? Let's try and get a better look at his car.
Am I seeing things, or were those lit up numbers there before?
Oh, they're always there. That's the position.
Yeah.
Oh, it was.
Right there.
So if we just pull a little sneaky here, we can actually hear the exact moment that this happens for Blake Warboys. So if we go on board.
Yep.
I think he double shifted. Into that corner. Well, it is heartbreak for Blake Warboys. He's had to
he's
take
out.
an early stop.
He's out and he's hunting. And he has got 35 minutes to get himself up the pointy end.
I think at this stage, a top 10 now is a win for Blake. He needs to try and get this car back into the top 10.
I think once he gets past the 13th place, they're all fairly close, and he can munch his way through those other ones. The thing is, with these other ones, he's just got to make up time, so it's a little bit different.
This is going to be a tough slog for Blake Warboys now in this race, so far back in the field. A safety car will bring him back into it. Cars 350 and car 12. Lap 2, turn 2, no further action. That's between John Gallen and Billy Mole. So they had a second little ding-dong between them, it seems. There was an unusual error from him, Steph, but obviously pushing hard to try and fight his way back forward. Maybe a little bit of frustration for the moment on lap 1.
We have contact. Oh, Jace Douglas has just ended up in the back end of that car. Doesn't look like anyone has suffered too much unless Jace has done some damage to himself.
It doesn't really look like he's caused too much damage to his car. Rehan's looking a little bit cleaner at this stage, so let's have a look back at this moment and how this and unpack it just a little bit here. So Jace sent it up on. Oh, there was a little bit of contact with McManus, and the door opened for Rehan then. So that worked out beautifully for the young Leonage.
Yeah, mate, gave Leon Leonage just that little bit of freedom there to just waltz his way through.
You called me out for saying Millie Bowl, but you just said Lehan Reanage. So
you did. Billy Mole is just at the fastest lap of the 1:52.966.
Who's this Billy Mole character? I thought we were talking about Millie Bowl.
I think it was Millie Bolly Brown.
Millie Bolly Brown.
Mickey Clifton, David Coleman, and Brandon Levin are having a great little battle down there as well. So they're having a lot of fun across there. Very, very tight. Then we've got Rian, McManus, and Douglas, which we have got on the other screen at the moment as well. Will Brown is still hunting Mulford, keeping very, very close to Jack Andrews. Has just set the fastest lap of the 1:52.748 as he leads the field around. So he's doing extremely well out the front, Jack.
He's having a great race up there. He's now leading the way past Tim. So could this be the breakout moment for Jack Andrews to finally get that win? Could this race have been the chaotic cocktail that Jack Andrews needed to get a race win under his belt?
Well, you know what? He's been close a few times now, and with unusual circumstances have affected his race result, but you never know. He's in a really good, clean position at the moment.
Well, he's got rear gunner of Tim Mulford holding back Will Buchanan at this stage. Angus Lawford and Stacey Boyd drag race up towards the Hamilton corner. Side by side, still up towards the right-hander. And Lawford gets that job done.
By both drivers.
Oh, fantastic space given. As Leonage is now on this battle too, so this is going to start to heat up across the next couple of laps. Lap 5 of this race already, 9 minutes just about into this one. McManus has now been getting left behind here from Leonage, who wants a move on Boyd. Boyd's going to cover the inside line, though, up towards the braking zone at the end of the Brooklyn Straight. He pulls in, lets Leonage have the position, plays the smart game, and might even try just letting Leonage open the door for him past Lawford. Colin Black in the chat. It's a dark track, good racing. Well, it's a dark track because there's a bit of fog and cloud cover in the sky at the moment, Colin. I personally, for driving, prefer the 200 layout. But it does create some great racing for us, and it's a tough slog out there for the 300 circuit. So it definitely puts the drivers to the test.
Warboys has just done the 151.643, fastest lap of the night. So they're swapping and changing. He is definitely on the hunt down there. He's slowly catching Doddsy. He was 12 seconds when we originally spoke about it, and now he's got it down to 10.5. Yeah,
there's about 2 seconds between Doddsy and Warboy's teammate Billy Mole, and a further 3 seconds up towards Steve Vella, who's got 6.5 seconds up to John Gallen on the back of Shane Randall for your top 15. Then Peter Pavlovic further 2 seconds up. Brandon Levin then 7 seconds up the road on the back of this battle with David Coleman and Mick Clifton at the back end of the top 10. Jace Douglas a bit further up in between Clifton and McManus, who's on the heels of Stacey Boyd. And then Rehan Leonage continues this battle with Angus Lawford in towards the midfield of the Snetterton Racing Circuit. Back up at the Hamilton corner once again.
This bottleneck that we can see, Lawford, Rehan.
Oh, I think there might have been contact then.
With Stone Street and
Buchanan. So
very close.
That's going to allow Leonage, who's actually now made it past Lawford, to make his way just that little bit further up. So what contact happened between them just after Hamilton? Oh, yeah, bit of rear end contact. Bit of rear end. That then pushed Will out. Troy's tried to redress, which fair enough. And then whilst this was happening, Rehan Leonage was getting the job done on Angus Lawford through all of this. So Buchanan went out wide. Lawford then pulled up. And Leonage up the inside. Easy does it. And job done.
Nice and clean. Nice and clean. Very clean move. Now this pack has now gone from Stone Street. It now has a lot more drivers, and it's going to get bigger as we speak, because Troy Stone Street now has got Leonage on the back of him, sniffing the paint fumes from his freshly painted car, having a go on the inside run into the big right-hander. Oh, Stone Street's not giving it easy, but he's let him through more or less. I don't think
he had much choice. To be honest with you, he gave him a little door, and he's like, "Oh, Troy, I'm here actually, and I'm just going to get the drive out of the corner to get past you. Thank you very much." So there wasn't much choice Troy had in the matter. Leonage forced his way through, but fairly and within the rule set, he forced his way through. So
it looks like Mick Clifton and Brendan Levin had a bit of an issue coming into the pits. Not sure what went there, but we might catch that a bit later. But Coleman has catching the back with Jace Douglas. So we've got Stone Street, Lawford, Buchanan, Boyd, McManus, and then a gap to Jason Douglas and David Coleman. Those boys are slowly catching up the back of that major pack with Stacey Boyd leading them through.
So Lawford at the moment is trying to chase down and get past Troy Stone Street. Further back, Jace Douglas, who we mentioned, in that battle with Alex McManus at the moment. Jace, cool, calm and collected as always. Definitely got yelled at by Ray for not using this stick shift, using the paddles, because you watch him now, he's only using the stick shift as they run in towards bomb hole corner. They've got Coleman hot on their heels at this stage as well. Further back, Harry Dodds is still trying to fight his way forward. He's got a hell of a lot of time between him and Billy Mole, 4.2 seconds up the road from him. So a hell of a way to go for Harry Dodds at this stage of the race, as I've just caught Sinker out whilst he was looking at his time.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're right,
I was just switching it up because I've got McManus, Coleman. battle going on, but I've just put it onto Jace's cars because the middle car, just so we get the front and back action around them because they're really close. And they were catching up McManus, but not quite. They've dropped off a bit.
So there's
catching up Stacey Boyd.
No
They've
further
dropped off a bit.
action as well for the
That was
pit
the,
entry.
pit entry.
Yeah, between
Levin and Clifton.
So Coleman's now going to get his way past Jace Douglas. So you'll have to change cars now, Sinker, to David Coleman.
Done well though. Oh, Jace is getting a bit of drift going on there. Looks like his rear ends are struggling to hold on. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that because the way he came around that last corner, the whole car was doing a four-wheel slide then.
Let's try and get
Blake Warboys, he's got that car 46 has got tech issues. He is requesting a tow. Brandon Levin. Well, he's getting the whole position standby. There could be a safety car, we don't know. But Blake Warboys is taking that 10 seconds down to 5 seconds in a matter of 2 or 3 laps and hunting.
So I'm just trying to find this moment between Clifton and Levin. So there's Clifton ahead of Coleman. Oh, that's why. Okay, well, yeah, I mean...
okay, so he called it in just to make sure.
To be fair to Mick, I was going to say, to be fair to Mick, he hit the wall. There's not much he can do, so...
Yeah, I think he was just more to highlight that I've hit him. That wasn't really my fault. More so.
Well, right now, Sinker, it is a night to remember for Phoenix Racing Team. We're 15 minutes into this race, and they currently have a podium lockout as Rehan Leonage has now made his way past Troy Stone Street. This will be the first time, at least to my memory, on a Sunday night, if they were to finish how they are, that we've ever had a podium lockout from a single team. We've had it before in the SFLs and a couple of other series too, but we've never had it in the Sunday Supercars to my memory.
I think we may have had it in the early days by the Fish, but that's a bit behind my mental capacity at this very moment. But something is telling me that we may have had a Fishy Sport lockout, but yeah, but that's been a while now, so it could well be the first one. We'll have to ask Coleman. Maybe he remembers.
Maybe he does. So
he is actually the biggest mover tonight. He's up 11 places already.
He is. Douglas is up 7. Leonage up 6. Pavlovic up 6. Randall up 6 as well. There's been some pit stops involved in all of that, as well as Leonage now gets by his teammate Tim Mulford, who'll continue to be rear gunner for Phoenix Racing Team. I wonder if Rehan's going to try and get past Jack, or if they're going to give Jack his first win. I feel like the crowd would want Jack to get his first win, surely.
I don't know, mate. I don't know. They're racing. They're all races. It's not a gimme. The question is that we are poised to have soon is when are the pits going to happen? I can't remember where they were at this track on the Tuesday night, but I'm suggesting probably somewhere around the 25-minute mark, 30-minute mark, maybe.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah,
I would say so. I think that's pretty fair going for a 40-minute race. Although when we did race here, it was 2:20s because it was a sprint race. So remember, Singer, we have to remember that it's actually slightly different.
Mulford's gone in the pits, as we've just said that.
Yep. So and then that makes sense. Around about 17 for an early stop. Try to go for an undercut, see what happens, see if it works out for you. So I think it's 100%. Very fair.
I'd be trying that. I'd definitely be trying that. Warboy's pace is right on the back of Harry Dodds now. He's just under 2 seconds, so he has been chopping that time out quick as possible. He has been going, the last lap for Harry Dodds is a 1:54. The last lap for Warboys is a 1:52. So he's literally 2 seconds a lap and catching.
So he's trying to push hard to see where he can end up in this race, but a safety car will probably be Blake Warboy saving grace at this stage. He needs to try and save some fuel to get this car home if he can. David Coleman at the moment has got 8 tenths over Jace Douglas. Peter Pavlovic has got 9 tenths over Shane Randall, who has another second back to Billy Mole. So this is now our closest battle out on track. Give these guys a little bit of time on screen. Of course, Randall and Pavlovic had it coming together in race 1 down at the hard braking zone of turn 4. But it seems that, you know, they've kept it going. They've kept themselves nice and clean. I mean, Shane locked up brakes at that corner. Those sorts of incidents happen. I think it happens to anyone, realistically, and it's just one of those small mistakes of...
Racing is racing.
Exactly. A little bit overzealous on the brakes and just keep going best you can.
Yep.
So.
100%. 100%. You see what can happen in the real world of racing.
Oh, Pavlovic, sorry to interrupt, has just straight lined that corner. That's going to be a massive slowdown for Pav. And I think he may have possibly had a locked brake sinker that's caused him to go off track. Oh, no, he just didn't make the corner. He just didn't make it. Wow.
Yep.
So Boyd, Lawford, Gallen all into pit lane. Pavlovic with an unfortunate mistake. Has now given up a position, but Randall's also come in. So Pav will get that spot back now. Moves his way inside of the top 10. Mulford now goes up to P9. Remember, he already pitted at lap 9 of this race. So Lawford has come out in behind him. There goes Warboy, streams past, but can he make it home on his fuel? That's the tough question that has to be asked. Can Warboys make it home?
Look, if he can get himself at the pointy end, his pit stop will be fairly quick as well. So it puts him back in the battle pack. He's now 40 seconds from the lead. So he's had a lot of work to do. He's come all the way back from, I don't know, 50 seconds plus. So he's doing really well to get back where he is.
He's having to push hard to make his way forward in this race. David Coleman has now got Jace Douglas only 3/10 in behind him at this stage as we bring Jace back up on screen to see how he's adjusting with this battle. He's still keeping himself cool, calm and collected, is Mr. Douglas. It's not really giving us too much in terms of screen-shottable facial expressions. He's more or less just cool, calm, very stoic. Very settled as well, and just trying to move his way forward.
Doing well, doing well. Look, he's growing into a driver in this series. I think it was definitely a good choice for him to pop into and drive this series. You know, he has had sessions with PDD, so hopefully he'll keep doing them. As Rian Leonage goes into the pits now, he is sitting there on the stilts.
And he's just gone again, so he's going to be a fair way ahead of Blake Warboys and Rehan's teammate Tim Mulford when he exits pit lane. He exits now, and he is a world ahead of Tim Mulford at this stage. Peter Pavlik needs a pit stop, as does all of the top 5, inclusive of Billy Mole, Jace Douglas, David Coleman, Troy Stonestreet, and Jack Andrews, who leads the way. Could it be on for his first win in SRW and in the Warren & Brown Tools V8 Supercars Championship here on Sunday nights? It's getting heated further back in that battle with Warboys, Buchanan and Lawford as they tussle for position at the back end of the top 10. But for Andrews, is it a swan song moment over the next 18 minutes of this race as he could head towards his very first win here on the Sunday nights?
Yeah, Lawford's just passed Buchanan in that bottom screen, so he's made a great move. It's going to be a tough one now because Lawford has pitted and Warboy still needs to pit for his actual stop because he's gone through his repairs and then the engine blows. So unfortunately for him, he has had a massive hindrance in his race. But Lawford is not holding back at all. Buchanan and Boyd are following through.
So as we race on towards the pit stop for Jack Andrews, who comes into the lane, we'd expect Stone Street to follow him. Came in very hot.
Yeah,
very hot. Stone Street's kept going.
Watch to see if he's made that clean entrance or not.
So as we continue on through this pit stop period, Sinko, I think we could take the time to talk about next week, or 2 weeks' time, I should say, for a little bit, as Douglas has followed him in 2. Of course, we have a week off next week for our second part, or our second bye of Season 1 of iRacing. Now technically Season 2. And then we've got a couple of weeks in a row, starting with Oran Park for a normal round, 60 minutes of racing around Oran Park, where we should see probably 2 pit stops across that race, and one where it could be quite contested at times. I mean, I believe we had a safety car on Tuesday, so we could see it again come 2 weeks' time on Sunday night. How are you feeling going into that race? Because I know that Oran Park is one that we've seen test drivers before. James Scott seemed in his element there on Tuesday. Do we think we're going to get some phenomenal racing from these Sunday boys at Oran Park, or do we think it might be a little bit of follow the leader?
There's no doubt. It's going to be tough. They'll be trying to make moves. There'll be certain spots in that track where they'll be trying to take advantage of each other.
Probably turn 3, which was James Scott's favourite passing. His was turn 2, but we could definitely see some heated moments at turn 2 or turn 3 of that circuit. So
it's going to be spicy. It's going to be very spicy. Very spicy. It's going to be a lot of fun. There's a lot of places there, a lot of pace through those corners, and we've seen how close these guys drive on a Sunday night. And when they're going to be close together, it's going to be hectic, man. It's going to be like 2/10s, 3/10s coming through the back S's to that final corner under brakes. Then it goes up the hill to the tight left-hander for the final corner. They'll be kissing the walls. The question is anyone going to go in the pits and slow that little bit down where someone's going to launch someone else into the wall like we had with Billy Mole. The poor bugger went up into the sky and got sat there on the edge of the wall. What do we got here? Car 099, drive-through penalty, unsafe pit exit.
So iRacing has given him a drive-through penalty. That's going the way of Jace Douglas.
Jason Douglas. Oh, Douglas.
That's unfortunate for Jace.
Focus, concentrate. Wax on, wax off.
Let's see, is he still stoic? He's still stoic at the moment. Actually, no, I just saw his face and he looks a bit pissed, actually, I must say. For all that, he's got a little bit more anger about him.
All right, Billy Mole's gone in the pits. Peter Pav's in the pits as well, followed him in.
So the question is, when does Warboys come in? Does he come in at all? I mean, he's got 15 minutes. 35 is a long way to go. On the single tank, it's a long way.
Yeah, he's doing well. He's got, what has he got left? 15. What am I saying? 15 minutes, just under. So there's a bit of way to go. Kerry originally got home from a gig half hour ago. Was gonna watch, but you started mentioning F1. Haven't seen it yet, so you lost me for a while.
He could have muted us,
Kerry. I thought you raced on Sunday nights. I don't know what's going on, mate.
Oh, oh no. Oh no, Jace Douglas has been given another drive-through penalty by iRacing for speeding in pits.
That's car 044, mate.
That's Stone Street. Oh my god, I was about to say that would be. I would be absolutely heartbroken if Jace had that happen to him.
That's what we were. That's what we were watching. Remember, he came in really hot.
Yeah.
And it looked like he was a little bit out of control. 999 cancel.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, I was about to say, like. Whew. Oh, my heart nearly completely broke then for Jace, but no, that's fine.
Yeah, Cowie, you got to take the gigs when you can, man. Coleman is on the back of Andrews at the moment, putting some mega pressure on, man. He is 016, 140.
He's yet to pit, is Coleman.
Yeah, but he is fighting it like crazy, and there he goes in the pit now as we speak.
Yep, so 27 minutes.
See where he comes out now. Yeah. Bottom screen has got Rian Leonage on it, coming through while Coleman is on the jacks. But you can see how they fare when they're coming through. Oh, Warboys has come in as well. He is in for his second, tyres or fuel, whichever he's going to take. What was everyone's Supercoach scores this week? Surely better than this foggy weather.
I got a 21-12 this week in the first week of Supercoach Jackals. That was my score, so could have been better.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't have time.
That's fair enough.
Here comes Warboys out of the
pits. Oh, so he came in and he's come out. Sorry, just ahead of Shane Randall, and he's going to stay ahead of him. So Randall didn't want to push it too hard. It's a good race there, Shane. He's up 5 in a P13.
Yeah, and just behind Billy Mole.
Yeah.
Nerd.
Which one, me or Sinker?
You, mate, you.
I already know that. I didn't know if he was maybe giving us some new news that you were a nerd as well. But.
All right, so Coleman's done really well with his pits. He's come out in some really clean air. He has got 7 seconds ahead of him and 6 seconds behind him. So he has just got to maximise points now. You've got Alex McManus, Stacey Boyd in front of him. A little bit of a battle still going there with Mulford. Buchanan, and Angus Lawford. My tongue's just about twisted around me. Did you follow any of the AFL teams, Titanic? I followed Collingwood, mate, but I couldn't even tell you how they went. I got no idea this weekend. My mind is a full blank.
I was going to say, surely you're a Dockers fan.
Me?
It's big Titanic.
Very nicely done. I see what you did there.
Thank you.
No, I'm a Collingwood fan. As my wife says, I follow the team that has the least amount of teeth in the league.
Or do you feel a personal connection to them because of that, or?
No. She just likes to rub it in because she's a posh little Hawthorn supporter.
Collingwood fans are keeping the orthodontic businesses alive in Victoria.
Well, this is true. Oh, have a look at this. You've got it on your screen. I've got it on my screen. This battle is going a bit heckers.
It's the hottest piece of property on track at the moment. Think of this little four-way battle.
Very, very good. Look at that. I love the iRacing has really done well with the little particles that go flying up in the air every now and again. Lawford's having a bit of a sniff there, but not quite enough to get around him. But it's given Stone Street some free air. Ryan Leonage is chasing down his teammate. He's got 3.6 on the back of him. So at the moment, it's looking really comfy for Andrews, Leonage, and Stone Street.
Yeah, they're having a nice little battle at this point in the race with 10 minutes to go. Jace Douglas seems to have calmed down a little bit now that he's committed to that drive-through penalty. We get the other part of the screen up too. We can get the outside and the inside look of this battle. We're on board with Will Buchanan for the driver's eye down towards Bombhole Corner. As Mulford is trying to defend against Lawford in behind, who's trying to keep Buchanan back, who's trying to keep Boyd back. So it's a bunch of attacking and defending all throughout this little battle pack. And I feel like if I was in any of their positions, I'd want to be in Stacey Boyd's position in this moment. Because the closer these guys get, the harder these guys battle, the more likely they are to come together.
Stone Street is going into the pits.
Yeah, he has a drive-through for speeding in pit lane.
Right, yeah, that's true.
He used his maximum 3 laps.
This is going to bring the final position all the way up to Tim Mulford and the boys behind him fighting for it. So all of a sudden now, we have got Angus Lawford, Buchanan, Boyd, and Mulford all fighting for a podium spot. This is going to become an epic battle for the final place on the podium.
So Lawford is hot on the heels of Tim Mulford, who wants to try and lock in Phoenix Racing Team as a podium lockout here this evening. If Lawford and Mulford come together, Buchanan could have a breakout performance and get that RER car on the podium. It's all on the line for them, as I think Stacey Boyd's had an off-track in the background, Sinkers. He's actually out of this fight now. It's now come down to a triple threat for P3 on the road.
Cannon, Lawford, Mulford.
Yeah, Mulford is now starting to pull away, though, just a little bit from them. So for 8 minutes of this race, Mulford has to survive, and Phoenix Racing Team will get that podium lockout here at Snetterton before we go for our week's break next Sunday night. What a way to end this little 2-round doubleheader, Sinker. If they could end it with a podium lockout here this evening, alongside compounding with Jack Andrews' first win on the Sunday nights.
Yeah, this is going to change the title fight a little bit here and there now. We thought Warboys is going to get himself out into a critical position. Well, he is. He's got to get up to the top 10 sort of part of the race, which the points will be critical. But Rian Leonard has now put his hat in the ring as well now, so it's going to be spectacular. It's going to turn into a 3-way fight, if not 4-way, because Lawford's going up the top end as well tonight. So he was leading at one point.
Well, Buchanan has got some love in the chat from Daniel Snedden and Greg Brooks. Greg saying Will is a patient lad. He'll wait for Angus to make his move before Will wants to try and get on the attack. So he's going to try and be patient about this one, but the longer this race goes on, the less time he's going to have to be patient, and the more pressure that's going to be applied to Will to have to attack to try and get his way up onto the podium. For Lawford, well, I have a feeling he can do it, but Mulford is incredibly strong as well. So
we've got 3 laps to do it in. We've only got 6 minutes left, so depending on how the boys cross the line, is 3 to 4 laps, most likely 3. But it's funny. Angus and Buchanan behind Mulford are pretty much mimicking each other's gaps. They're going to 33 tenths. They're going to 25 tenths. They're going up and down together really close. So it's going to be, yes, as Greg Brooks says, patience will be the key here. Oh.
That's Troy Stonestreet's had a moment in the background. Greg Barber.
Yep, he's asked for a tow.
Wow. So could this completely change?
No safety car. He's been told to tow.
No safety car. So what has happened to Troy Stonestreet?
He's on his own.
Oh, has he had a technical issue?
He's gone deep there.
I reckon he's had a technical difficulty here, Sinker.
Yeah, it looks like it. He's having issues there. Maybe his brakes or something has let go on him.
Maybe the pedal went.
Yeah.
As Angus Lawford is now starting to apply that pressure on Tim Mulford up ahead of him. So every little bit of fight that Lawford has, he needs to put into this battle now with Mulford. Needs to try and attack his way forward. He's got 5 minutes left to go to get this car onto the podium for Project 36 and to ruin the absolute dream scenario for Phoenix Racing Team here at Snetterton and ruin their perfect podium finish here in the UK before we go away for a week's break. Can Lawford get this done? He wants to send it at 2, but he didn't want to try and get in too tight. A little bit of a rear knock. It is getting it's getting ferocious here. Lawford's just letting him know. He's giving him a little tap. Oh, he had a blown engine. That's why he's retiring. Thank you so much.
Oh, that sucks. That sucks. Bit of bad luck there. I'll tell you what, though, what could it be? Blake Warboys has still got the fastest time of the 151.643. I know that Rian is probably not going flat chat because he's got teammates in front and back. His fastest is a 151.8, so it could have been a spectacular race there tonight.
So Lawford hot on the heels of Tim Mulford still, applying this maximum pressure. He's still tapping the rear of Mulford's car. He's still letting him know that he's there. He's forced his way out onto the wide line, but he's going to get caught up for the long right-hander. Mulford's going to defend this inside line as hard as he can. Keep an eye on Buchanan if he goes for a jump. Mulford wants the regular braking line. Is Lawford going to send it? No, backs out of it. So
he's just making him think at the moment. He's getting in his mirrors.
He's trying to force
He's filling his mirrors with purple, with highlight pink and highlight yellow. He just wants him to know that he's there. He's breathing down his neck like you wouldn't believe. But this gap has slowed them down. They're 17 seconds off Leonage now.
So the battle has been intensifying. The pressure has been at an absolute maximum for Tim Mulford from Angus Lawford in behind. Up towards the start-finish line. 3 minutes and 20-odd seconds left to run here for round 6 of season 1 of 2025. How much more has Lawford got in the tank? How much more has Mulford got in the tank? And can it maybe go the way of Will Buchanan if his luck is in the right pool here this evening? Down towards turn 2. Lawford not quite close enough. We saw him want to go for the dive last lap. He then tapped the rear on the exit. Lawford's had a blink. Is that him out? No, he's just returned.
No, he's just yeah. Whew. That was, I thought that was gone. I thought it was catch you later, Irene, but no, his pace is right there. I'm gonna go into the second camera and I'm gonna go in Lawford's cockpit so we can see him pushing the pedals to the metals. Oh, and that cockpit cam is crap, so we won't do that.
Is it because it's set up for you? Oh, outside line, though, at the long right-hander. He cannot get the drive out of the corner. 2 minutes and a quarter left in this race. It's in Jack Andrews' hands at the moment at the front of the field, but for Lawford, he's held himself up massively as Mulford's trying to break that toe. Remember, he gets 2 moves down the straight. He's already used both of them.
Yeah, you can see those little brake lights flashing in front of him. He's very, very close. I've got the gyro going so we can see a better view at the moment. But tell you what,
it's
981 has caught something in. That would be Harry Dodds by the sound of the voice.
It is Harry Dodds.
Yes, he's called something in. He's racing there and battling with Peter Pav, so he's pointing a finger at Pav at the moment.
Final lap of the race. So Jack Andrews has now crossed the line to start the final lap. Rehan Leonage is just in behind him. They might try and go for a photo finish. But this battle will continue on for Tim Mulford to lock down this Phoenix Racing team podium lockout at Snetterton. For Lawford, it'll break the hearts of the Phoenix fans in the field and in the crowd here this evening watching along with us live on SRW TV. But I don't know if he has many more opportunities that he can get this done, Sinker. It just seems out of reach for Lawford now.
Yeah, I think Mulford has just positioned his car so well for every corner. He's not giving him much room. But the problem as well is that Buchanan has been so close up Angus's butt as well that he hasn't been able to take the risk too much either, apart from waiting for an error to come out of him. And he's pushed him like crazy. He's held on to his beans and not let them go, mate. He's done really well.
He's not letting this thing go is Angus Lawford over Tim Mulford now. He wants the outside line again, but I don't think it's going to be fast enough off the exit. He's going to have to put the foot to the metal. Mulford off the road, and Buchanan takes advantage and goes up onto the podium. But we have to focus on the P1 at the road. Jack Andrews, for the first time in his career here in SRW, will traverse around the final couple of corners with the 1 on his windscreen for Phoenix Racing Team and up towards the start-finish line for the first time for his new team and for the first time in SRW. Jack Andrews takes the win here on the Sunday night Warner Brown Tools V8 Supercars Championship. It's a 1-2 for Phoenix Racing Team with Rehan Leonage across the line. Car 981's been given a drive-through penalty for incident limit. That's Harry Dodds. And Will Buchanan, for the first time for Revolution E-Racing here in SRW, will come across the line on the podium in P3 on the road. Lawford may have some answering to do, but we'll see what race control say about the moment. For now, provisionally, he's P4. Boyd,
I think
P5.
they've already said no further action. I think he was out on the edge with not much room left, and the space disappeared, they contact, and they rotated.
So it was McManus P6, Mulford P7 in the end, Mole P8. Warboys got back up to P9, and then David Coleman. 9 spots up in this race and into P10, just ahead of John Gallen. Shane Randall up 6 into P12. Clifton home in P13. Douglas P14. Dodds is having to come in for that drive-through. So that race is only going to be ruined even further, unfortunately, for Doddsy. Vela P15 on the road. And Peter Pavlovic, because of the drive-through for Harry Dodds, is going to get P16 in the end. But for Jack Andrews and the Phoenix Racing Team, it's the first time that he is on the top step of the podium, possibly ever in SRW, Sigga. Not just Sunday nights. This might be the first time ever Jack Andrews has been P1 in a main feature for the Supercars. And an incredible effort. He gets the job done.
A great effort there. Jack Andrews is definitely lifted the flag for the team and done an exceptional job. Ryan Leonage, coming all the way from 10th, has done a fantastic job as well, up 7 places. Coleman, really good. And Warboys fighting as well, way back to 9th after being at the back of the grid. Sensational effort with Billy Mole just in front of him too.
So our provisional race results for the feature here this evening, barring any post-race reviews or incidents or penalties to be applied. Jack Andrews takes the win for Phoenix Racing Team ahead of his teammate Rehan Leonage on P2, with Will Buchanan coming home for the first time on the podium here on the Sunday nights for Revolution E-Racing. Angus Lawford P4 provisionally at the moment. We'll see if there's anything further for that incident or if it will remain NFA. Stacey Boyd comes home P5 for Nova Sim Sports in behind. Alex McManus for Performance Sim Racing comes home P6 ahead of Tim Mulford in P7. Billy Mole P8 for WKMP Sim Sports with his teammate Blake Warboys in P9. And David Coleman makes up the top 10 for Fishy Motorsports. John Gallen, Shane Randall, your top 12. Mick Clifton, Jace Douglas. Steve Vella, Peter Pavlovic, Harry Dodds make up the last of the finishers with Troy Stone Street 4 laps down, and unfortunately for Brandon Levin, 14 laps down in this race here this evening. But the red carpet has been rolled out. The fireworks display is on for Jack Andrews and this team Phoenix Racing team. We await them to join the green room here this evening, as well as our P3 and Will Buchanan. What a race, Sinker. What a race, and what a way for Snetterton to come to an end tonight.
I know. And, you know, as the story unfolds, it was pretty spectacular the way it ended. I mean, not for the drivers, but for the viewers, yes, and for the action pack. Unfortunate for it coming together, and but it was one of those things where you could see that he was in a good position to just take advantage of it. It was like, well, yeah.
It was a phenomenal night on the circuit for Will Buchanan. I know Daniel Snedden and Greg Brooks are very happy for that moment. I know that Kurt Nommensen will also be happy as well for his teammate to get across the line in P3 as well. And I'm sure Project 36, who've got somewhat of a working relationship with that team, also would be feeling proud of Will's efforts, even though it couldn't be Angus on the podium this evening alongside him as well. We've got Rehan Leonage and Jack Andrews in the waiting room. We'll see if Will joins us at some point as well. We'll start, though, with young Rehan in P2 here this evening in an incredible fight back across this race. Rehan Leonage, we've just interrupted your conversation with your teammate Jack. Very sorry about that, but congratulations. P2 on the road tonight. You're finishing behind Jack as he takes his first win, not only for the team, but also here in SRW as well. Congratulations, though, P2. It's a hell of a run to get up towards so high up on the grid here this evening across that race. How was that one for you? Because it was pretty hectic for us early on in the race.
Yeah, it was a tough race. Definitely had to get the Albers out early on. Didn't really go our way, so I had to readdress the position there. But then it was just an uphill battle there. I think we definitely had the pace, but yeah, it was good that Jack got a win.
So you guys nearly pulled off something that we hardly ever see, which is a team podium lockout. And unfortunately, in a bit of a controversial moment with your teammate Tim and then Angus Lawford, they had a coming together, and that then took Tim off the podium. How special would it have been for you and your team if you could have blocked out the podium for the first time here on Sundays and joined that illustrious list of teams who have done so?
Yeah, that would have been awesome. Tim did a really good drive, like defending up until then, but just one slightly wrong move. That's all it takes. But yeah, otherwise very good driving from everyone in the team.
Your team is getting faster and faster. You've got some boys that you're training out there as well that you've given sessions to. We're seeing the improvements out there as well. So if you're out there and you're a viewer, get hooked up with PDD. These boys are doing a sensational job, and some of the drivers that I've seen come through the other end of what you guys do is been pretty special, mate. It's been pretty good. How are you enjoying the training side of things? Is it something you're going to continue as you get older? You're going to be a teacher or something? What's going on?
Well, definitely not interested in actual teaching, but stuff like this, yeah, definitely passionate about helping guys get faster, and it just overall brings the pack and like the community closer in pace, and just makes for better racing overall. It's really good to see a lot of our students doing good up there. So yeah, look forward to more improvements in the future.
Well, I'm seeing a lot of Facebook things coming through of new parts arriving for the Real World Beast. How's the fun going with assembling all that, and when's the next race coming?
Haven't done anything in like a month or so, but I think probably like next month, maybe mid-April. Can't remember the exact date, but yeah, definitely coming along nicely. Dad's doing all the work, so thanks, Dad.
I'm sure he's getting you in there and getting your hands dirty, yes?
No, I'm really only there to sit in the seat and test things. Yeah.
Listen, mate, a good driver knows what makes a car work, all right? Don't be a Ricardo and have no idea how to turn a spanner. He's a great driver, doesn't know how to turn a spanner. You've got to get onto the spanners as well, mate. But anyway, yeah. Look, good luck with that side of it. We've got a week off next week, and then we've got a few Aussie tracks coming through. Oran Park is going to be the next one in a fortnight's time. How's that race on your list of tracks?
Oran Park is definitely a tough one, that's for sure. I think there was an official there like last week. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think close and chaotic racing probably. Definitely gonna have to get the elbows out if anything, if I drop at all.
Well, I think it's going to be spectacular fun. I'm pretty sure everyone will be out there after the break for a week. You got Scops next week or Lodgies? What have you got?
I've got Scops next week. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, good luck with that, mate. Who gets you out on track and supports the amazing team?
I'd like to thank Hybrid Race Simulations, Melbourne Hydrographics Depot, Aramex Heatherton, DHF Tires, RSW Graphics, Bubbles and Balloons, and Phoenix Driver Development. We encourage people for V8 Supercars, obviously, do setups for all the previous generations as well. If you need any of that, just message us on Facebook or Discord. And yeah, I'd like to thank the admin and race control and you guys for putting the show on.
Thank you, mate. We appreciate that, and good luck for the rest of the season. We're only at round 6, so we've got a fair few rounds to go, and the battle's going to get a bit better as we go because now you're got yourself at the pointy end. No Mr. Scott tonight, so the point levels are going to balance out between yourselves, Blake Warboys, Lawford. It's going to start to get very, very interesting.
Yep, definitely will be. Looking forward to it.
All right, take care, mate. Good luck, and enjoy the week off.
Yep, thank you. See you guys.
See you, buddy.
Next up, we have P3 on the road this evening for Revolution iRacing for the first time on the podium in the Sunday night series. Will Buchanan, congratulations on getting yourself up to the podium here this evening, Will. You drove a very clean, consistent and smart race, and, well, when it all mattered, the two cars in front of you blew up, you streamed on through, and you take yourself some simulated champagne. How does it feel to get that one done?
Yeah, it's a good feeling. I think it's my first ever podium on SRW, so it's a very good feeling. But yeah,
I think you're right, mate. I think you're right.
Yeah. So I was just sitting back and watching the entertainment happen in front of me, and yeah, I was just buying my time and saw my opportunity to go down the inside, and it paid off, thankfully.
They were so close to each other, and you were so close to them as well. At one point, I thought if something goes, all three of you are gone because you were like. Lawford was like 2/10s and you were 2/10s, and then there was 3/10s, you were 3/10s, and they were like in the 1.5s, and you were there right there between. And I was thinking to myself in the back of my head, man, if I was Buchanan right now, I'd be backing off a little bit, just so I've got that escape room. And it looks like you did because you dropped off a little bit. Was that what was going through your head?
Yeah, I made a little mistake down the hairpin and just got lit up in wheel spin, so it dropped me back a little bit. But I'm thankful I did that in the end. I reckon if it was a bit closer when those two tangled, something bad might have happened to me. But yeah, I wasn't really I was letting all those guys sort it out tonight. I'm not fighting for anything in this championship. I'm down the very back, I think. So I was just to have fun and just watch everyone around me have a go at each other.
Well, mate, you've got yourself some critical points. So it's a long season. It's another 10 rounds to go. So you never know, mate. A bit of consistency, you could find yourself up the pointy end fighting for something.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, it is a long season. We'll see how I go. I think it was 3 or 4 rounds, so I'm not too stressed at the moment. But yeah, just trying to have some fun and get some results.
Yep, drive with the caliber of the guys that are on the track and have some fun. That sounds like a great idea to me. Mate, car's looking amazing. I can see there's a fair few supporters on there. Who helps you to get on track and supports you?
Oh, the whole team, basically. Down to Brooksy, Leith and all that. It's a good crew there at AIT Revolution iRacing, so it's very good and just all supportive and get me going.
Excellent, mate. Well, good luck. Hopefully there'll be more podium opportunities for you in the coming weeks. Good luck, mate, and just keep having fun.
Cheers. I just want to do a quick sponsor shout out.
100%.
AI Double T, Sudspeed, Kibby, IR Sidekick, Bunnies Builds, and SureX4. We are very thankful for all you do for us.
Excellent, mate. You're a legend. All right, enjoy, have fun, mate. Speak to you soon.
Have a good one, guys.
Thank you.
Next up on the ticket for the first time in P1 position here in SRW. After joining this team at the end of 2024, he's had a podium with them prior to now, and now he's gone better and taken his very first win. Jack Andrews, congratulations. P1 on the road tonight at Snetterton. Your first win for the team, for Phoenix Racing Team. I believe your first win ever in SRW. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Was quite a decent race. I mean, I wasn't too confident in the pace I had there, but just seemed to be avoiding the carnage that I'm hearing about happened in the background. So just avoiding all that sort of stuff, and had a very scary moment into pit lane, which wasn't a great moment. I fenced it in, I think it was qualifying, doing the exact same thing, so that was a bit scary, but overall a decent race, which was quite enjoyable to have.
Mate, decent. You did a stellar job, dude. All I can say is one thing I'm going to say first is popping the cherry. Well done. And we always love the cherry pop on a Sunday night. And spectacular drive, mate. It wasn't decent. It was very, very good, mate. You did exactly what you needed to do out there. You're on pace, on point. That was spectacular, mate. Don't pull yourself down.
I appreciate that, mate.
The how is it out there? Well, like once the carnage at the background sort of split up War Boys and Reanage and everyone a little bit. What was your trainer thought? Was just like keep clean, keep the pace. Where were you at? Were you guys talking amongst each other? A bit of strategy.
Yeah, I heard that something happened to a few of the WK&P cars, so I saw that, and then of course I think something happened to Rayhan. I haven't seen exactly what happened yet, but I saw that and basically just wanted to try and run away as fast as I could before either of them caught me back up, because I wasn't sure where they were, but all seemed to work out in the end, just trying to stay consistent and hit the marks each lap, which obviously paid off in the end run.
Well, it did, mate. It paid off very well. Great bit of driving there. Not sure where it puts you in the points system or scheme of things, but I know it's a long series that we've got here for the Sunday series. So it could be some crucial points there when boys are away and stuff like that. Ambitions, just get out there, have fun, or you set yourself a target?
Target currently, as I think, try to stay in the top 5 for the points to finish off the year. I think that'll be a nice little goal to hit. I think we're in 4th a bit comfortably at the moment. So obviously this helps the push forward. But yeah, I think a top 5 in the championship to finish this year would be a good end result, I reckon.
Yeah, that sounds like a good target, mate. Because those top 5 are some spectacular drivers, and to have your name touted amongst them is a pretty good way to finish off a series.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Hamish, any questions?
Oh, how does it feel to get it done? We've actually had just confirmation as well. Just quickly, cars 216981. That was no further action. 850 and 152, which was Mulford and Lawford, was also NFA as well. So, but how does it feel, Jack, to get this first win done? And how hungry are you now to taste that simulated champagne from P1 again?
It's very nice to finally get the full round. I think it's the round win. I'm not sure, but I think it's quite nice to finally get one done. I had a rough week this week doing some NASCAR races and just missed out on the podium each time. So it's nice to finish the weekend with a win. It's very cool to have. But yeah, it's always cool to be up the front when I can, and winning a race is always awesome.
Well, it's been a long time coming, hasn't it? It's Hamish. We've seen him a few times. We're thinking, well, he's going to get it now. He's finally going to get it.
Yeah, I think it would have been last season at one of the tracks. I think I won the sprint race, and that was cool. And had a few other races where I could have done a bit better. Just mistakes on my end kind of ruined it. But nice to finally be up here. It's a pretty cool thing to happen.
Excellent, mate. Who gets you on track, dude, and supports you and your team?
Hang on, let's bring up this list. Hang on, give me a second. So, obviously, first off, I'd love to thank the team for backing me. They've been great ever since I joined. Really enjoying myself where I am. And, of course, all the team sponsors, Hybrid Race Simulations, Melbourne Hydrographics Depot, Aramex, Heatherton, DHF Tyres, RSW Graphics, Bubbles and Balloons, and of course Phoenix Driver Development for any setups or driver coaching that you may need in these supercars to come up the front and just learn a few things about these awesome cars.
Excellent, mate. Hamish, anything else before we send him on his pretty way?
No, I don't think so. I think we'll let him go enjoy the moment, and hopefully it's not the last
Celebrate
time you're
with the
up here.
team.
Yeah, celebrate with the team and celebrate within yourself as well, Jack. But congratulations on P1 for the first time in a feature race here in SRW, and possibly a round one as well. I'll have to double check. I think Rehan might have it actually, because he had P2 and P2 in both races. So unless you were P3 in the heats.
No, we were P5.
Yeah, P5. So I think he has the round win, but you've got a feature race win. So that's, I think, a little bit better. I think it might taste a little bit sweeter, but congratulations. Best of luck in 2 weeks' time at the next round at Oran Park. Enjoy the week off next week as well. We look forward to seeing how you go when you come back.
Yeah, sweet guys. Love your work. Very much appreciated for your streams and your broadcasts.
No worries. Thanks so
Thank
much,
you,
Jack.
mate. Enjoy.
Well, Sinker, that'll bring it into round 6. We have a little bit of a holiday next Sunday night before we return for a nice little Australian four-peat of tracks, starting with Oran Park in 2 weeks' time at the start of April. Feels weird to only race in March twice, but we have. And round 7 will be coming around the corner in a couple of weeks' time, as I mentioned, at the end of round 9 of the regular season. So round 9 will be done and dusted, and we'll be in for round 7 of the Sunday series. So we'll be in that sort of weird in-between season period where we don't really know what to do with ourselves, but at least we'll still have the Sunday series to race at.
Just look forward to Sunday. Well, now that you mention it, we will have something to do with ourselves, because there's actually a 4-week gap, because we're coming back after Anzac Day, so the Anzac Day long weekend. So we've got Easter. So we'll have week 2 will be the Australian Open Wheel Nationals.
Yep.
Then we've got Easter. Then we've got the Anzac Day long weekend. So we come back the following week of that. So there's actually a 4-week gap. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to have some unbroadcasted racing.
Yep.
The boys are going to have a GT3s on Thursday nights, and we're going to do something with the Super Formula lights in between there as well, to give the guys a bit of free fun. So if you're a member of SRW, there will be some fun racing to be had on Thursdays and Wednesdays, so that you can go out and spin some wheels with the boys, have a bit of a laugh. Our new race stewards that are in training will hopefully be leading some of the races and getting a bit of practice for the up and coming seasons. So it's going to be a good time to have some fun. So look out on Facebook and in Discord. So just keep your ears peeled. If you're a driver, registered driver, that's where you're going to go. Next week, we'll also be releasing season 2. So we'll have lists of tracks and all that sort of stuff, and the subscriptions will open. Don't forget, Sunday Night Championship is still open as well. We've got some space for some drivers in there as well. But, so there's lots of things to be had. Keep an eye on our socials, and my hot egg flowing around through the YouTube and Facebook.
So coming up this week as well for our 3 nights of racing coming your way across Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday. Of course, Tuesday night, we go racing for round 8 of the Warner Brown Tours V8 Supercars series at Phillip Island for the final sprint round of the season. It says sprint on the calendar, but there's been conversations in the open chat that apparently it's supposed to be a normal round, so I'm not 100% sure, but it is listed as a sprint round, so I'm going to assume we're going to be going sprint round racing at Phillip Island, which should be good. Wednesday night, we go racing at Homestead Miami Road Course for a sprint race as well. I'm very excited about that. My favourite Roval course
nice.
On iRacing. Should be a great night of racing. You'll have myself and Jack Anderson in the booth for that one. Thursday night, Mr. James Parfitt, JP, will be back in the booth with yourself, Sinker, for VIR North Course for a super sprint. And then the week after, we're around for round 9, and that's the final round of season 1. And for anyone wondering what tracks we've got the Bathurst Enduro on the Tuesday night. The Wednesday night, we have Suzuka for 60 minutes of racing for the SFLs. And then Thursday night, we have the long-awaited, maybe somewhat dreaded for some of the drivers, Charlotte Motor Speedway Oval Course for a super sprint event as well. So
it's going to be a season-defining race, because it's very, very close in a lot of the divisions.
Yeah.
A lot of the classes are very close on points.
It's going to be unmissable. unmissable.
Yes.
And as we said, next time we're going to be on your screens on Sunday night will be 2 weeks' time at Oran Park for round 7 of the Warren Brown Tools at Supercars Championship. So be sure to hit the like button, and subscribe, the bell icon as well, so you're notified whenever we go racing. We've got a massive end of Season 1 coming your way across the next 2 weeks, as well as the AWN coming up in about 4 weeks' time. Excuse me. And then also more Sunday night races as well across the break as well. But I'm Hamish Munro, joined by Stephen Sinkovic alongside. Appreciate your time. Appreciate all the series sponsors as well, including our title sponsors, Warren Brown Tools, for supporting the Sunday night Fiat Supercars Championship, the Tuesday night Fiat Supercars Series as well to MOZA Racing, for coming on board this season to support the Wednesday night Super Formula Championship, and to Shannon's Insurance for their support of the Thursday night Toyota GR86 Nationals, as well as other series sponsors, Shunt Scenery, Grim Industries, home of the Viet Coffee Table, which can be found on Prime Video's Top Gear Australia during the news, interviews, and other studio segments, as well as, I'm very sorry, I'm getting all coffee now, as well as Phoenix Driver Development. Be sure to message PDD on Facebook or Laz and Rehan Leonage if you're looking to get yourself some V8 Supercars training or get some setups for yourself as well. They'll be sure to help give you guys a good deal if you tell me you're coming from SRW, and they'll be able to find you a time slot, get you guys a setup as well if that's what you're after. So as I said, message PDD on Facebook or Laz and Rehan Leonage on Discord if you're interested. But I'm in Hamish Munro with Steve Sinkovic alongside. Appreciate your time. Appreciate you being here with us. And until next time, I'll see you guys Tuesday night for the next round of the Warren Brown Tools V8 Supercars series. But until then, stay safe, drive hard, and as always, bye for now.
This is amazing. Up, it's clash heads again. This is like Chaz Mostert and Cam Waters. Almost the same situation. Better contact going down the hill. Sam Noble wants to sniff on Dave Coleman now. Sam Noble bottle right now because, tell you what, Bruce Tanak